How well do you know yourself, and how confident are you in creating a good public image? Welcome to another episode of Learn with Matt, and for today, we are going to talk about how to build your brand. Self branding is our image that we want the public to see and is essential in building a good reputation. Now, it's manifested through our behaviors and also our attitudes. Our attitudes include our way of thinking, our values, our opinions, our beliefs, and our behaviors are basically our expressions or actions. Now, there are people who believe that there are two types of branding. One is personal, the other one is professional. Well, this may hold true because the way you present yourself in front of your friends might not be similar to how you project yourself in the workplace. Let us not forget that it all boils down to your core as a person, as an individual. So, inevitably, there may be times that we need to overlap these two for us to create an effective branding. What really matters at this point is, despite marrying our personal and professional selves, how are we able to develop a good and positive image that can be uniformly perceived by the public? So for today, we will focus more on the professional side, and here are some ways for you to build that brand. First, know your core. It's all about you as a person or as an individual. Remember that you need to assess your attitudes and your behaviors for you to know what your strengths are and what you need to change. Remember that even if your beliefs, your values, your principles, your actions heavily depend on your experiences as a person, you have the power to change them. For example, if you are, let's say, a rigid person, or you don't easily waver and you are highly principled, there might be a need for you to somehow adjust that when collaborating with your teammates, because you have to acknowledge that their insights are as valid as yours. You need to have an open mind that listening to other people can also be beneficial. However, being a highly principled person is a good trait, so let's not disregard that. But you need to keep the balance, okay? So that you will be perceived as someone who can be independent, but someone who's also open to other suggestions. Number 2, build your experience and credentials. You know what they say, experience is the best teacher. Having relevant experiences in our chosen field is essential in building a good brand, because we cannot just solely rely our credibility on trainings, seminars, workshops, because we need to experience things firsthand. With experience, you are able to go through the ups and downs of your career. And if you're able to survive those, then that speaks volumes. And believe me, that is good for you. For fresh graduates who do not have work experiences yet aside from their internship, I would always suggest to take advantage of their school activities. Try joining organizations. Try doing extracurricular activities. These can help develop some important core skills like leadership, professionalism, teamwork, and these are assessed or evaluated by your employers, not just your academic credentials. Number 3, make your presence felt. In a highly competitive place called the workplace, the challenge really is not just to be good enough in what you do. If you're after your career growth, you need to be noticed, and you need not just to build a positive image, but to work on your relationships with your colleagues. When was the last time that you took responsibility over something? For example, When your manager asked your team last time about who would like to lead the preparations for the upcoming team building, did you even try to volunteer? Now, I'm not saying that you should have just for the sake of doing it. But if you have what it takes to be a leader, then why not? Another example is when your leader or supervisor asks you to stay a bit longer to work on a report. Did you willingly commit yourself or did you turn it down? Now, I'm not saying that you should be a yes man all the time. Sometimes we can reasonably and justifiably say no. But if everything is good on your end, then why not do it? Again, it could increase your visibility and your reliability as well. Number 4, share your talents and skills. How can you be unique and how can you go beyond your main job description? What else can you bring to the table? Do you have talents and skills that you can share? Go ahead. And this can also be the perfect time and opportunity for you to mix your personal and your professional branding. Like, what are your personal traits that you can use in your professional endeavors? For instance, if you just love speaking in front of people or public speaking in general, then why not use that skill for you to contribute to your organization, like hosting events? If you are into writing and you used to write for your school newspaper back in the day, then why not write for your organization's newsletter? If you are a people person and you just love collaborating with other people, then why not come up with a collaborative team and accomplish a project? So you see, if you have it, show it. Show your colleagues that you can be dependable. Number 5, demonstrate professionalism and foster good relationships. Professionalism is shown in many ways, like being on time or wearing the right or appropriate attire or using the right language when you speak. Remember that no matter how excellent you are in what you do, even if you are a consistent top performer, your character will always define you. Foster good relationships with your colleagues. Show some respect. Aside from making your work lighter and more fun, it can also boost trust, which is essential in establishing a good brand. Being friends with your colleagues is normal, and if I may say, necessary, just for you to enjoy it. But you always have to have that mindset that you should have limitations. At the end of the day, all your work relationships should be anchored on professionalism. Number 6, be consistent. Remember that great things take time. Making your presence felt or sharing your talents and skills once might not be good enough for you to build a reputable brand. In the real world, you need to consistently demonstrate good behaviors and positive behaviors in order for you to gain that trust. It may take weeks, months, or depending on the frequency of these opportunities you can take advantage of, but be patient nonetheless. Definitely, there will be challenges along the way, but it's all about how you're able to overcome them. These are just some of the many tips out there that you can use in order to build your brand. Now, don't forget that the main fuel that you need here is authenticity. If you're genuine, then you will be able to build your brand right. All these items discussed require effort and patience. And trust me, if you intend to fake it, you will eventually give up. Remember, it's always a choice to be better. So make your future bright and grand by building the right brand.